と sink or swim 生き残るためにいたギターこれをたと言い聞かせる What went wrong?Survival of the fittest, 弱肉強食 If it's a world that our wisdom will lead And tell me what went wrong I've paid my dues I've sold my soul So tell me what is left for me When I've given up everything ねえどれ書いてたんだろうどの景色を見ても何も感じない僕の世界なのかよおい誰か答えてみてくれよ
Welcome to the table, Warhammer and D&D friends. Have a seat, kick back and relax and grab your favorite drink and settle in as we begin our official conquest of Bretonnia. Now, as a recap, the prelude to all of this first started with us taking over Mousillon, establishing a base there, destroying a couple of our buildings too. Now this was kind of a bit of a risky move just because they were bonus buildings for us to gain different types of units and eventually heroes, but also we needed the cash early in the campaign, so I decided to destroy them. We are building the snail hunting grounds for a little bit of passive income. We recruited a new Dark Prophetess with the Lore of Death, and we're also we're recruiting some peasant units, which are mounted brigands with crossbows, which will be our night killers and will be used to counter Bretonia's Knights of the Realm. And as a little bit of housekeeping as well, I know that right now this lord that we have, she is named differently. Our army makeup here is a little bit different as well, just because in the last episode, well, the newest Warhammer update broke some of the save files that I had, so I had to essentially kind of restart the campaign. Thankfully we weren't too far behind, and it wasn't too much to catch up, but that's just some housekeeping. Had to essentially reset the campaign. That's why this legendary lord's this lord's name is different from the previous one we had, but essentially same lore of magic, and also pretty much the same army setup, and it's less expensive too since we only have one unit of gray men. Unfortunately, in the battle against the Red Duke and essentially in the Vampire Civil War, we did take a bit of a beating, but we got most of our important units replenished. But the plan we have here is to try to draw out Adelhard to attack our Lord Ocean, and hopefully we can ambush them. But we also need to make sure that we actually declare war on Lyonnaise.
Whether chivalrous or not, I will strike you down, scum, if your words displease me.
You insult me!
As for other diplomatic ties here,
valiant lord.
We're going to try to make an alliance with Montfort here by declaring war on the Skull Smasher Greenskins, which are far away from us in the south, and by doing so, we can secure a non-aggression pact and also get a little bit of money out of them. Well, actually, it's not just a little bit. 1,300 is going to help us quite a bit financially.
I suppose so.
But by doing that, we have secured our southern border with Montfort and also with Aquitaine as well, as we decided to help fight, quote unquote, fight against the Blightwing Duchy. But essentially what we're doing is we're securing our southern border by having Montfort and Aquitaine act as kind of like our little proxies, or essentially buffer zones against the Blightwing Duchy, which is a modded Nurgle faction, and also the Skull Smasher Greenskins. And also, we don't have to worry about Carla Cassone, the Fey Enchantress, coming up anytime soon. We could eventually, hopefully, have these two as allies to fight against Fey Enchantress, depending on how things go in the Bretonian Civil War. As for the High Elves, it is a little bit concerning to have them as our western neighbors, but
how can I assist you? Defender of the
we can increase relations with them by declaring war on their enemies, such as Ivres with the Broken Axe,
you called
Krace with Seducers of Slaanesh and Scourge of Cain,
Prince of Elfwan.
And it's very tempting right now to help Kothik out against Marienburg, the Shadow Legion, or Varg as well.
You think yourself welcome in the Phoenix Court?
I think I want to declare war on one or even two of these factions, just because, well, probably not Marienburg, because Marienburg is located a little bit northeast of us. It's going to essentially, well, eventually I do want to take it over, but right now King Luon is preoccupied with actually fighting a war against them, and a couple of greenskins up here too, so we have a little bit of time. Time is going to be one of our biggest key factors here. We need to, which is why we need to take out Lyonnaise and launch the attack as soon as possible on Bretonia's capital. So I don't think I want to declare war on Marienburg just yet. If we declare war on the Shadow Legion, oh, I don't know if I like. Bellacourt is very powerful, that's why. I just don't know if 2,000 is like a worthy asking price to go up against both Bellacourt and basically his vassal Varg. So I think we'll hold off on that for now. I know it says we're technically at war with the New World colonies, but at the same time, they're far away. We don't have to worry about them too much. I did gain a little bit of money from their enemies, the Scourge of Aquitaine, which are destroyed right now, but we don't need to worry about them sailing all the way over to Warhammer France. But we're going to end the turn here, hopefully draw out Adelhard to attack Ocean and eventually get ambushed by us. Alright, so looking at what we got here, we were able to set up a successful ambush. We got the jump on them, and also our forces definitely have the superiority over them, so we'll be the ones attacking here first. Ocean will be coming in to as reinforcements in 2 minutes, plus also the majority of Adelhard's forces are foot soldiers. The main ones that I'm most concerned about are taking out Knights of the Realm and also their Blessed Field Trebuchets. Their archers I do want to get rid of as well. And then once we've taken out these three units here, the rest of his units will essentially just be floundering or sitting ducks. But one key thing that I need to be aware of here too is the fact that we should not kill off Adelhard, just because in the last video we did actually kill him, and by killing him we're not able to vassalize his faction, so we need to defeat him without actually killing him. But yeah, let's see how this goes. Oh, Alright, taking a look at the battle beforehand, well, not so much a battle, but more of an ambush. We'll be having our knights charge directly into their exposed Blessed Field trebuchets. Yes, we might have to contend with their Knights of the Realm, but in order to counter that, we'll be having our mounted brigands shoot their crossbows into their knights and essentially back up their back line. And we'll be using Malabode as bait yet again in this battle to try to draw Adelhard away from his main army. I think he has a potential advantage against us, considering that he's holding a great axe in combat. And the rest of our forces will be on the right flank, far away from the battle, and eventually they may try to converge onto here, but by the time they do reach us, Alpson will use up his spells to summon basically a whole bunch of zombies to clog them up, and our archers and trebuchets will make short work of them as they approach our lines. But without further ado, we'll start the battle, have our knights charge directly into their trebuchets, have our essentially knight killers, mounted crossbowmen, shoot down their knights, and we'll be having Malabode run a wild goose chase with Adelhard. Actually, you know what? I think I want to try to draw Adelhard towards this end of the map and see if we can try to cause fear, make him retreat off the battlefield by causing fear. But anyway, let's see how this goes for us. Alright, come on, Adelhard. Come get us. Oh, Adelhard is actually kind of distracted with our horsemen there. We took out their field trebuchets. I need my knights to pull out of there quickly. We're getting converged upon very fast. I'm gonna draw him to our lines as fast as possible. It's about time you start summoning zombies now. Alright, how goes their forces? Ooh, our knights are a little bit clogged up at the moment. Ooh, Malabode, you are taking a beating right there, buddy. Let's have you retreat behind the line of zombies there. Like I said, I do not want to kill Adelhard. More so just blob him up.
Undeath the sentence! Swiftly! At once! Swiftly! Bind me if you dare! At once! Swiftly! At once!
Ready to serve?
Alright, this was a very successful ambush, but like I said, I want to defeat him without killing him. Alright, he's taking a tad bit of damage there.
Inevitable as death. Swiftly, at once.
Alright, he's in full retreat now. That's probably like one of the best ambushes. That's arguably one of the best ambushes I could have ever asked for. Our knights did take a beating there, so did our mounted brigands, but none of our other forces were beaten up as well. Plus, we were able to defeat Adelhard by decimating his cavalry, his trebuchets, his archers, and pretty much getting him to surrender and eventually become our vassal. We'll be taking the rest of his army up north with us to Cologne to take out King Louis, and they will essentially be, hopefully, what I will call cannon fodder. Alright everyone, with that successful ambush slash battle, we only lost 35 of our horsemen, well, 35 total of knights and crossbowmen, while Leonace himself lost 137. The majority of their forces did survive, but we took out their cavalry, trebuchets. Adelhard is still intact, and I think it's in our best interest to either go with army replenishment or potentially dark magic. Although, hang on, we need to think this through. I think army replenishment is the way to go, just because 605, that's not too many resources, and also we need as many of our forces intact when we eventually fight King Lewin himself. Alright, with that successful ambush battle, we have Leonace under our control as a vassal. Adelhard has sworn his loyalty to us, and we are set to pose a threat to King Lewin by using Leonace as a staging ground. What I'm going to do now with Malabout is we'll be marching him. We'll be sending him into forced march as far as possible, not causing any war or provoking Longueuil to attack us. Longueuil is another Bretonian legendary lord added by Mixu's faction unlocker. But I don't want to provoke the wrath of them just yet. We actually now have Cologne discovered. And with Cologne discovering us, they do have a lot of negative relations with us, a bit of aversion too, but also they are fans that we are fighting against the Skull Smashers. It just buys us a little bit more time to get as far as possible and try to get as close to their capital. We'll launch the attack there, and also I have a mod that basically is kind of like a warband call mechanic. So basically what this does is I can use it to call upon Adelhard to come to us, essentially teleport to us, and and also fight alongside us in battle too. It is a little bit of a cheat, but also at the same time, I'm always one of those Total War players, and I'm sure there's some out there that would like to have their allies be more, I guess, active in battle alongside us. Alright, so we're going to be using Malabo to march as far as possible. We'll go into force march. Corone is now in our sights.
Lord of Bretonnia.
This night.
Alright, we'll have Adelhard teleport to us. With our combined force, we will march on Corone eventually. I do want to keep Oceania here as well to recruit more mounted brigands. Once those are recruited, I'll have her force march up and transfer them to Malabode as well. I'm also considering on building yet another building here for ourselves. Potentially a public order building, even though, well, ironically, we destroyed one of our public order buildings. Well, that gave us a lot of control, mainly, and yes, mainly for that reserve money too. Alright, but I think we can keep it there as is, and worst case scenario, if there is a revolt, then Mousillon itself is capable of defending itself. We also have a commandment available to us, and probably the safest bet that we can do here would be control, just because we have all the buildings unlocked for Mousillon right now. There's no need for us to choose growth. Recruitment, we're not it's not that important at the moment right now. Income could be important, but it's merely 5%. The growth +4 and vampiric corruption spreading is going to be incredibly beneficial to us in the long run, especially if things do go south, literally and figuratively, and Fae Enchantress is able to make a push up north and potentially besiege us as well. I do need that vampiric attrition, that vampiric corruption to slow her down, or anyone else who does try to invade us. But with the stage set, we have Malabode and Adelhard ready to launch an attack on Corone, reinforced by Ocean with mounted brigands, aka our Night Killers. With her transferring her Night Killers to our army, that puts us up to 17 for the base army, not including Alxon's ability to summon near endless hordes, well, not near endless hordes, 7 units of zombies, which is a lot of zombies too. Plus also we have Adelhard and his army as cannon fodder here. We are very much ready to pretty much flip Bretonia's royal hierarchy on its head and become the new rulers and rightful rulers, I may say. But anyway, that has been this episode of our narrative Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires campaign as the Duke of Mousillon, the vampire Bretonian hybrid counts. And I'd love to have you all join us on the next adventure, friends. If you're a fan of talking shop about all things Warhammer, D&D, Elder Scrolls, and also Baldurs Gate vids, which little bit of housekeeping here, I will be releasing more of those in the future. The next one will be focused on a Yennefer build with a modded subclass of the Druid, the Circle of the Storm Chasers. Keep an eye out for that, and remember to hit those like, subscribe, and bell icon notifications for more adventures like